Welcome back to Let's Play Persona 3 Portable. Last time, well, not too much has happened. Last time we did I went ahead and did like some social links, but for the most part, we haven't had any new story stuff. Junpei is ignoring us, and this time we're gonna hang out with Tanaka here and see what he has to say. Today we'll talk about, oh dear me, I just can't concentrate. I get so worked up when I picture his face. You want to say, who? One of my employees. I suppose I should have seen it coming. President Tanaka seems to have calmed down. There was a young man who was working for me. He was a good kid who graduated from a well-known university. But this month, he wasn't able to meet his sales quota, so I docked his pay. After that, his self-confidence went down the drain. Then he just stopped coming into work. You can say either thing. I'm going to say, what is he doing now? He probably locked himself inside his room. I don't care. President Tanaka seems unconcerned. I just mailed him his dismissal notice, a COD. It's his fault that the company is in the red this month. All that money I wasted on training him just makes me sick. Just thinking about it. You want to say it's all about money? Of course, I love money. Money won't betray me like he did. President Tanaka seems very passionate about money. It's difficult growing up with no money. When you can't even afford shoes for PE class, going barefoot in the gym during winter can be torture. I've been thinking, how would you like to model exclusively for my company? Your innocent appearance would be perfect for camouflaging the ugly realities of business. Think about it, will you? You won't ever have to worry about not being able to buy shoes for PE. You sense that President Tanaka has strong feelings for you. So he keeps bringing that up, so I'm kind of wondering if he was poor as a child and he couldn't afford necessities like shoes for PE, and now he's like obsessive about money. I don't know, just a thought. Oopsie, I better get back to work. I have to reevaluate the budget. If I decide to hire someone new, it'll cost a fortune to train them. Well then. And that ends that. Oh, Tanaka. Oh no, this guy. Silence! Class is beginning. Sebna uru kwa. I plan on using the word magic in a very general sense, but today we'll talk about the single most magical place and time. Today's topic is the magic of medieval Europe. There are a lot of materials pertaining to Western magic, from books to folklore. We'll cover all of it, including the changes it's gone through. As I mentioned last time, European magic has its origins in paganism. There's no organisms involved here. Starting with Christianity, though, it's been influenced by the influx of various cultures. Some well-known examples are Kabbalah, the study of the mystical aspects of Jewish texts, Gnosticism, a Christian sect founded by Simon Magus the sorcerer. Greece's philosophy and natural sciences were the fruits of magical researchers. The same was true of Islam's scientific advances, which surpassed Europe's at the time. Now, as for the circumstances of magic in this age, it was an era where the rule of Christianity and the insight of the natural sciences collided. Magicians bravely reached up for a connection with the gods. Are you all awake? You're not daydreaming, right? Hee hee hee. A little test to see if you were listening. Get it wrong and you may get a scary guardian angel. Sebna uru kwa. Who should I choose? Alright, Katone, I ask thee. What is the mystical study of Jewish texts? The answer here is Kabbalah. Very good. The magicians of the age achieved great things, particularly the famous grimoires. Grimoires are collections of a wide range of magical texts, and you gave the correct answer! Woohoo! I apologize. There's lots of long words, and many of them I'm not used to pronounce. I mean, I don't say Kabbalah or Gnosticism on a regular basis. I haven't heard any new leads. Sorry, Hidetoshi. I can barely speak regular English, like on a daily basis. And that's why I do Let's Plays, so I can practice. Alright, so nobody has anything interesting to say today, so we're heading to the first floor laboratory near the clubs, and we're hanging out with Akihiko today. Yeah, we're gonna spend some time with them. Where are we going? Alright, so we're at the Wild Duck Burger, and the inside of the restaurant is busy. Katone, there's a table open over here. Man, it's crowded in here. Is there a promotion going on? That reminds me, the other day, Mitsuru... No! I want a milkshake! A small boy sitting sitting with his family at the next table, begins screaming. You already said you wanted to have juice. You can't have both. The mother's voice is getting louder as she argues with her child. It's reaching the point that your ears are hurting. What should you do? You can say anything you want here, but I'm saying I'm gonna go get something else. Oh, really? Can you get me some coffee while you're up? Akihiko hands you some money. It seems that Akihiko wasn't bothered by the commotion at all. When you come back to the table, the family next to you is getting up to leave. The child's screaming slowly recedes into the distance. He was full of energy. Akihiko is absent-mindedly watching them off. You want to say... What do you want to say here? You want to say he's just a child. Then you shouldn't hold it against him that he's acting like one. Akihiko laughs. Akihiko suddenly falls silent. Oh no. What is this? Katone, do you think I'm strange? So if you want to trigger the lover flag, this is the second one, you want to choose you're charming. If you don't want to go lover's route, you have to choose something else. But I'm gonna say you're charming. That's not what I asked. Akihiko blushes. Sometimes people tell me that I'm a weird guy or that I act kind of strange. Normally I wouldn't let that kind of thing get to me. But back in the day, they'd say I was like that because I didn't have parents. It's not like I could do anything about that. That's why I wanted to show them that they were wrong. Psh, that doesn't matter now. That all happened back when I was a kid anyway. I mean, the orphanage wasn't all bad either. Akihiko smiles gently. Oh, sorry, I don't think I ever told you. I don't have any parents. My sister and I grew up in an orphanage. My sister's long gone too. That reminds me, you don't have any parents either. Ah, sorry, I shouldn't have brought that up. No, wait, I think that might be why I wanted you to hear what I had to say about this. Because I think I can depend on you to understand me. Akihiko smiles wryly. Alright, so Akihiko's parents are dead. He grew up in an orphanage with his sister, and his sister is also passed, apparently. Though we haven't learned anything about her. I think she's only been brought up maybe once or twice in cutscenes, but we directly haven't heard anything about her. I'm sorry for talking about that sort of thing. We should start heading back. But make sure you select your charming, because that is a second level lover's flag, and if you don't get that one, I don't think you can trigger the next one. Sup, dude? I better go study since exams are coming up. Yeah, you should probably do that. Now, my notes say everyone is boring, so apparently no one has anything interesting to say. I like reading my notes sometimes. Our next story concerns a very rare event. A miraculous flower which only grows once every 100 years has bloomed. It seems to be responding to the other strange events in town. Really? Well, we're heading out, and we're gonna go hang out with Mr. Monk today. Like I said, we're not level 31 yet, so we can't get the tower persona. Let's talk to this guy. Oh, he doesn't have anything new for us yet. We'll get there, don't worry. Oh, it's you. Yeah, let's spend some time with the monk. I think he's probably gonna lecture us again. Hey, I remember you. I told you not to come back here. Huh, kids. Well, I don't care as long as you don't get on my nerves. Here, take a seat. So what are you doing here, kid? You want to say I don't need to tell you. Huh, you're absolutely right. It isn't any of my business. The monk seems amused. Still, what's up with the lack of discipline these days, huh? You better watch your mouth, kid. You think you can just shoot off your mouth because you're a kid? If you were my kid, I'd give you a swift kick in the ass. You don't have to revere me, but at least show me some respect. You want to say, what should I call you? Matatsu. That's my Buddhist name, of course. Matatsu seems... I think it's Matatsu. I don't think the U in his name is silent. Just a heads up. Matatsu seems to be proud of his name. And don't forget to put a san at the end. The world's not a forgiving place, kid. You gotta show other people respect. Alright, well, we've been lectured. I think his entire thing is actually lecturing us about a variety of things. So just be aware of that. Actually, it's not completely true, but for the most part it is. You're getting sleepy. Well, I don't really care what happens to somebody else's kid, but just go home, alright? And don't ever come back here. I don't think I'm gonna listen to you. Because that's how I roll, of course. Hey, what's up? Exams are pretty soon. Have you been studying? You can say anything, I'm gonna say, yep. Seriously? Like I care. E says, like I care to either one of those. Here we go! Finally, we're up to oh, good grief. Taira no Masakado, I'm guessing is that how it's pronounced? The turning point of the era of the samurai. It all began from infighting among the Taira clan. Their conflict escalated until the imperial court intervened. Masakado was pursued by the imperial court and had no choice but to openly oppose them. The result was known as the War of the Masakado. Katone, you don't look like you don't look anything like a samurai, but let's see if you know this one. What title did Taira no Masakado claim for himself? The correct answer is Imperial Prince. Correct. This will be on next week's the exam next week, so be prepared. Let's skip forward a little to the Kamakura era. At last, the samurai's presence begins to be felt in history. In 1185, the Kamakura shogunate was established. Yes, we're there. My apologies. When I'm trying to figure out the pronunciations for the stuff, I often have to sound it out. I tend to do that before each episode, but it's been particularly hard the last couple episodes because there are so many Japanese words. So that's my lame apology. And of course, its founder was Minamoto no Yoritomo. I can't believe we're finally here. So yeah, the thing is, all Japanese vowels sound the same, so it's really easy to sound out words. You just have to actually do so. It's from Akihiko. Ikutsu-san is coming tonight. He has something to tell us. We'll meet on the 4th floor as soon as everyone gets back. Alright. So what we're going to do, actually, is we're going to go ahead and head into town. So the first thing we're going to do... Actually, we're going to stop by Colonial Mall first. Let's talk to the housewives. I get tired of coming up with new things to put into my son's lunch. My family always complains when I give them the same dish, so I'm always looking for something new. My friend told me about her kid at Gakukan who ordered a pork chop sandwich from the student shop. He complained about the pork chop in it, of all things, so she got angry at him. She told him if you don't like the meat, order sweet pastries or tri-color cake bread from now on. Huh, okay. Say what kind of dance is popular now in the clubs? Reggae? That rap junk? In my day, it was the tango or the jitterbug. You dance with your girl, not to show off. I fell in love at first sight with my wife in one of those halls. I'm extraordinarily glad to hear that. Real quick, actually, because she just reminded me, we're gonna head back to Gakukan. This is not on my notes, but we want to do this. I'm gonna stop at the student store, and I actually want to buy a couple of Yanbigans here. We should have plenty, but I want to make sure that I have at least a small batch of them. From here on out, since we're not going to be going to the... we don't need our courage up. I think we only need it one more time. I'm not really going to worry about, you know, staying sick. So Yanbigans will be useful. We're going to go ahead in here and we're going to go ahead and feed him the super cat food. And so yeah, we need to come back and actually feed him some more. So we'll do that later. Alright, but first of all, we're actually gonna go to the strip mall here. And I'm gonna talk to the kids. My friend at school said there was a stray cat around here. I'm waiting here until he comes out. I'm not gonna catch him or anything, I just want to see him. I wonder what kind of cat he is. If you swirl seafood ramen around 6 times clockwise and 6 times the other way without spilling, if you do that, then Hagakuri's ramen, I heard that you can hook up with the person you like. Really? I don't know. Just some weird stuff going on around here. We're gonna go to the shrine and we're gonna hang out with Miko today. Miko is staring at you. Okay, why is she crying? Seriously though. Oh, hello. My dad. Oh god, she's crying. Somebody stop her. Mako ran into you. You wait for Mako to calm down. Dad, he hit me! I don't know what to do. You wanna say that's mean? I know it is. Why would Dad do that? Why? Your understanding comforted Mako. All I did was say I wanted to know the real reason why they were getting a divorce. They told me I was too young to even understand it. So I kept asking, but then Dad, he got angry and the mom said since I was being so annoying that it was my fault. Holy crap, talking about an abuser cycle right here. I'm not sure they love me anymore. I bet they wouldn't care if I wasn't even here at all. You want to say that isn't true? Are you sure? Then why are they so mad? Mako seems a little happier. No, seriously. Like, what the hell? What if I ran away from home? I want to find out how they really feel about me. If they love me, then they tried to look for me, right? It's a secret, okay? Don't tell mom and dad I'm running away. I know you won't tell. Mako seems to trust you a lot. Yeah, so apparently she was asking for answers and her parents' response was to straight up hit her. Which, by the way, you know, I'm not against like spanking a child, but I get the idea that this is not like, you know, spanking a child. This was like he like smacked her upside the head or something like that. But I could be completely wrong. Well, I have to go now. We can play more later. But seriously, and then obviously it's your fault for getting smacked because you were being really annoying. There are many different ways around that. Holy crap, what is with this music? Mitsuru is giving an account of the battle at the hotel to Ikutsuki.
So that's what happened on the night of the 7th. It was a difficult operation.
I see. They're getting tougher. But it's not all bad news. I called today's meeting because...
I'm sorry. Before we go on, I'd like to ask Mitsuru-senpai something.
Me?
Since I've joined, so many things, I went along with it without really understanding what was going on. But now, I need to know. I'm gonna ask you straight out. You've been hiding something from us, haven't you, senpai? You act like you don't know anything about the Dark Hour in Tartarus. But they're related to that accident 10 years ago, aren't they?
What accident?
Yukari-chan. There was an explosion near our school, and a lot of people died. It must have been big news back then. You know?
Yes.
I'm sorry guys, I'm not paying attention apparently close enough.
No students were injured. But around the same time, a large number of students were recorded as absent.
I have my finger on the on the X button. Apparently I'm super excited about this.
More than just a coincidence.
Whee!
What do you mean?
I dug up some old school records and found something interesting. The students who were absent, they all collapsed suddenly and had to be hospitalized. Sound familiar? You know, like the girls who bullied Fuka. There has to be an explanation. What really happened on the day of that accident? The Kirijo group built our school, so you must know something. Tell me the truth.
I wasn't trying to hide anything from you. It just never seemed relevant. But...
It's okay. It's not your fault.
all right. I'll tell you the whole story. The shadows have many mysterious
story time.
abilities. Some research indicates that they can even affect time and space. We think of them as our enemies, but what if we could somehow use them to our advantage? They would be a source of unimaginable power, wouldn't they?
What?
14 years ago, one man pursued that line of thinking. He was the former leader of the Kirijo group, Koetsu Kirijo. My grandfather.
Ooh.
My grandfather was obsessed with the shadows. He wanted to harness their power for something extraordinary.
Here's a question that does not get answered at any point in time, is how he figured out about the shadows or how he knew about them. So just keep that in mind, is that's never, I don't think that's ever actually discussed in this game, but somehow he just knew about the shadows and wanted to harness them.
Like what?
He assembled a team of top scientists, and over several years he put together an impressive collection of shadows.
Hey, what? Damn, that's freaking crazy.
However, 10 years ago, during the final stages of the experiment, they lost control of the shadow's power. And in the process, the very nature of the world was altered.
Oh my, do you mean?
Yes, Tartarus and the Dark Hour. By their account, The mass of shadows they collected split into several large ones that then dispersed. These are the shadows we've been encountering on nights when the moon is full.
Is that why they've appeared in different places? Wait a minute. If what you said is true, then why did our school turn into Tartarus? Don't tell me. That's where they conducted the experiment?
Yes.
Then those students who were hospitalized.
I'm afraid it's just as you're thinking. Port Island must have been an ideal location for them. It was a highly populated area, and the Kirijo group had influence there. They could do as they pleased. As you guessed, the experiment 10 years ago was conducted at Gekukan High School.
Does that mean all we've been doing is cleaning up their mess? You lied to us? You knew, too, didn't you, Senpai? They've just been using us. Or do you not care as long as you get to fight?
I never said anything like that. I have my reasons.
Think what you'd like. It was my decision not to share that information. I'm sorry. I never intended to deceive you. Convincing you to join C's was my highest priority. As absurd as it may seem, only we, with our personas, can fight the shadows.
How could you?
Besides, some of us were never given a choice.
Mitsuru, don't.
Yukari, it's those in the past who are to blame. And they lost their lives as a result of what they did. We're all in the same boat here. None of us deserve the burden that's been thrust upon us.
But...
You don't have a persona. How do you stay awake during the dark hour?
It's been 10 years since that incident. No one knows why those shadows suddenly returned. But since they're active, at least we can find and destroy them. Do you realize what this means?
No.
What if I told you that those 12 shadows are the cause of everything?
Everything,
Then
huh?
if we defeat them all, Tartarus and the Dark Hour will disappear?
Exactly. That's what I was going to tell you earlier. See, it's good news, isn't it?
is that true?
There's evidence to support it. Now, our true battle begins.
Can I get some citations quoted here? Because I don't see any
I
evidence.
see.
Regardless of what's happened in the past, we must fight to protect the people. The shadows are gaining strength. We can't afford to just wait for them.
Here's a good question, is if we didn't defeat the shadows, obviously it's game over, but if we didn't defeat the shadows, would the people, like, in reality still keep the apathy syndrome and then the next shadow would come around and we'd have, like, 2 shadows to deal with? Or would something else happen? Like, we don't actually know, and we've never experienced
Indeed.
it.
And there are many mysteries still surrounding Tartarus.
If you fail, you die. I'm just gonna throw that out. You don't get a choice in-game.
Why did such a gigantic structure appear in the first place? The answer must lie within it.
You must defeat the 12 shadows that started all of this. In order to eradicate the Dark Hour and Tartarus, you must fight to protect the people. There are 6 left. Okay, well, after all of that, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. The big thing here that we've learned is that the 12 shadows are bad, and we need to defeat them in order to get rid of Tartarus and the Dark Hour, but it was caused by an experiment that happened 10 years ago that exploded at the high school, which actually caused Tartarus, and it was all based on some idiot who decided to try and use shadows to do power, something powerful. I'm not really entirely sure, and maybe you could throw this out here of like what type of power you'd really want to use shadows for. Like, are we talking, I don't know, electrical power? Are we talking like rule the world power? I don't honestly know, and obviously we don't have the answers here yet. Speculate in the comments, and I will see you next time when I don't know if we actually experience any more of this. But anyway, I'll see you then.